So did you say that other places people are celebrating Nigeria? Oh, nice. I know some countries do parades.
Yes, some places they are currently doing parades in some places, like in Lagos. So I can talk of some that yes, they do parades. Some organize health talks, free medical checkup, and all those things. So
that's cool. That's amazing. I love those kind of activities. You get to meet new people. You get to energize your spirit for the profession. And it's memorable, you know. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Ajayi, right?
Yes, Ajayi.
Ajayi from Nigeria. Thank you, sis. All righty. Who else is joining us today? I see Mbino. Mbino, are you able to speak? If not, at this moment, that's fine. We'll proceed with the presentation. And later on, we can have a discussion because there are portions of the presentation that are stopped and we have a discussion. Perfect. So here is what I've got prepared. I'm going to share a video for our Nurses Week, honoring all of our nurses in Nurses in Charge Global. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. Your screen is visible, like the video is about to play.
Perfect. Thank you so much, sis. Let me start it now. Awesome. It's short and sweet, just something to appreciate all of our nurses globally and to let you know that everything you do, we notice and we want to thank you so much on this amazing day of commemoration of International Nurses. Now I'm going to bring on the presentation for the girls. Here we are. I'm going to bring that presentation up now. Perfect. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I say Happy Nurses Week again and again. I cannot emphasize this appreciation. I cannot emphasize it enough because nurses and midwives throughout the world really do give so much of ourselves to society in general. We make up of over 60% of the healthcare professionals globally. And worldwide, there are over 4 million nursing professionals today. I may not be exact on that number, but I know there are at least over 4 million nurses worldwide. That says a lot. That brings magnitude to the conversation. And so today, Nurses in Charge Incorporated has prepared for you a presentation on nursing history and legacies. Nursing history globally and the legacies led by nurses. My name is Dr. Nyepukemo Hall, founder of Nurses in Charge, and it's my profound pleasure to be with you today to share this presentation that has been prepared just for you. It is always an amazing opportunity to learn about our backgrounds because it propels us to move forward. It propels us to see that we bring value to society. It propels us to know that we're not just a nurse, but we are essential healthcare professionals. So with that said, I have prepared this presentation that really will be hosted on 2 days, today and tomorrow. So this is just part one. So join the ride, pay attention, and take notes. As I go through the presentation, I need you to see where the timeline is driving us. If you find that in certain timelines, there were the legends of nursing in your country. Within that timeline, write their names down, give it to me. And furthermore, when I open the conversation for the audience contribution, say it. We need to know what are those legends of nursing that we have not covered. And some of these historic legends that we're covering today, they're really limited. And it brings me to the quest to truly embark on a mission to further understand who are those nurse leaders, nurse legends that we haven't heard about. And if you've known about Nurses in Charge global tour that started in November 2024, you will come to know that this is part of our quest, taking global tours. We started in Liberia. Who knows, by the grace of God, where we will be in a year or two from now. We truly want to cover the globe and see what are those hidden details, the imprints of nursing professionals globally that no one ever talks about. So thank you so much. Furthermore, if you're brand new to Nurses in Charge watching this video, I want to inform you that we are a nonprofit organization, faith-based nonprofit organization established in the USA in 2022, and we are celebrating our third anniversary this year. By the grace of God, we have come a long way to the point where we currently have members in 20 countries. And those 20 countries have truly touched the 5 continents that we know humans live on this earth. So indeed, we are expanding our reach to nursing professionals globally, to connect nursing professionals, to celebrate them, and to empower nursing professionals through the aims of professional development. So please share this is a good news, this is a great news, this is a beautiful news. Share it with your colleagues, come on board, and not only be a member, but be a change maker. Come along. If you do know organizations that want to partner with us, it may be universities, hospitals, local businesses, please, we do honor those initiatives as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we are. Next slide. So nursing history and legacies. NIC, for short, Nurses in Charge, presents legendary nurses who have made significant contributions to the global nursing profession, particularly through leadership, advocacy, innovation, and humanitarian pioneering nurses around the world who have shaped nursing through through clinical care, education, advocacy, and innovation. So as we go through this list, you will start to really see the imprint of nursing professionals globally. Okay, let's start from the 1600s. Imagine that. Nursing goes back that far, right? So in France and Canada in the 1600s to 1673, a pioneer called Jean Mens, one of the earliest nurses in North America. She founded Hotel Dieu de Montreal, one of Canada's first hospitals. Imagine that, a hotel and a hospital within one. Amazing. She has been archived into the records to have been the first nurse to do such an instrumental establishment in Canada and in France. So here we have Martha Ballard from 1735 to 1812 in the United States, an early midwife who documented her work in detail. Diary, right? She provided insight into community health nursing and women's care in the early America. So for you all who know of midwifery and nursing actually burst out of midwifery. Now here we are today. We're inseparable. So kudos to Martha Ballard. Then we have Sojourner Truth. Listen, Sojourner Truth is part of my historical learning. In high school in the US, I learned about Sojourner Truth, but all I knew was she was a civil rights advocate, right? She was a civil rights and slavery abolitionist. But now I come today to learn more that in the year 1779 to 1883 in the United States, Sojourner Truth though more widely known as an abolitionist. She served as a volunteer nurse during the Civil War in the United States. She advocated for the rights and recognition of Black nurses. I get goosebumps each time I read about these nurses, things they did. You know, they are trailblazers. No one, other people were not willing to step in some of these difficult roles to lead and to bring light to our profession that we enjoy today. But these are nurses that did so. So Dorothy Dix, from 1808 to 1887 in the United States, she advocated for mentally ill and reform, and an advocate for the mentally ill and reformer of mental health care. And by the way, May is the month of mental health awareness. So happy Mental Health Month as we speak on Dorothy Dix. Dorothy Dix. So she was appointed superintendent of the Army nurses for the Union Army during the Civil War, the same Civil War that we learned about Sojourner Truth being a volunteer nurse during that Civil War. There we have Dorothy Dix being one of those nurses playing an intricate role. Moving further, we see that Mary C. Quill from 1805 to 1881, a Jamaican lady, and also England. So she touched her legacy touches both Jamaica and England. So Creole nurse, she's called, who provided care during the Crimean War, known for her independent humanitarian efforts in British hotel for sick soldiers. So posthumously, she was honored for breaking racial barriers in healthcare. So we see that Mary Sequel was not just a nurse; she was also fighting for the rights of um, marginalized Black nurses, marginalized nurses who weren't Caucasian, you could say. So she took care of soldiers who were sick at the hotel. Okay. So then we come to Florence Nightingale. We all have heard about Florence Nightingale. Have you, in your nursing education, did you read the Nightingale Pledge at all? Please put that in the chat if you have. I did. Up to date, colleges and universities of, of nursing education recites the Nightingale Pledge in commemoration of her undying efforts for the profession. So in England, she's known as the founder of modern nursing. She revolutionized hospital sanitation and nursing education. Florence Nightingale established the Nightingale Training School for nurses in 1860. So really looking at the time span, she's known to have started nursing works in 1820. So about 40 years later, she started her own school. Amazing, amazing. She transformed nursing into a respected profession. Okay. Nursing was not always a respected and highly revered profession. It was never a profession. It was just one of those pastimes, like I would say, just giving back to society on a very low level. It was never one from the 1600s to Florence Nightingale's time. It was all about services being rendered to people that we know. But once Florence Nightingale came in, that's why she's known as the founder of modern nursing, because she brought this transformation into nursing, making it more respectful, opening her school and training, doing research at all of that, okay? So Clara Barton, 1821 to 1912 in the United States, founded the Red Cross in 1881, okay? So she's nicknamed the Angel of the Battlefield during the American Civil War. She advocated for disaster relief and emergency nursing. Amazing. I just love these nurses. They left us with so much blessing. Lucy Osborne, 1836 to 1891 in Australia. She was trained under Florence Nightingale. She was considered for as the founder of modern nursing in Australia. So she branched off from England and went over to Australia and replicated what she has learned under her leader, her mentor, Florence Nightingale. Then she introduced the Nightingale style. She introduced Nightingale style nursing in Sydney, Australia. Amazing. You know, when we touch lives and mentor and or precept, educate, these people go on to touch lives beyond our reach. That's why I love teaching at the nursing schools, because I know every student is leaving to go touch more lives than I can. Any questions, comments? You want to add value to the conversation? Anyone?
Well, I don't really have much to say than. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't really have much to say than to like those set of people has really contributed to nursing. So with their impact, their efforts and everything, they've been able to push nurses to push nursing to where it is today. Without them, probably maybe nursing would have been something like hidden profession. So we'll not be able to showcase what we have, we'll not be able to showcase the care, we'll not be able to showcase the love we have for people. So they are not here presently, but we say thank you to all those souls that they contributed.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, even today we have the opportunity to impact lives. We have the opportunity to be innovative, to establish um, any entity that we know will propel the next generation. Everything we do today, we can actually set our own legacy to help the next generation, just like these nurses did. So I always encourage my fellow nurses and say, listen, you can invent, you can do research and change the way we care for patients today. It could be the Foley catheter, urinary catheter, or it be a gastric tube, whatever it is that you use today that you find there's a default, there's something that is faulty, not default, but it's faulty and is causing harm to the patients we care for, and or even to our colleagues, whatever it is that you can make, you can be that change maker in society today. Just remember that it will be transferred into um, helping the next generation of nurses to do more, to do better, as we are today, doing better because of these nurses, these legends that came before us. Thank you so much for sharing. And then we have Alice Fisher, 1839 to 1888, England and United States. Alice was an English nurse trained again by Florence Nightingale. She too brought Nightingale methods to the United States and led reforms in, she led reforms at Philadelphia General Hospital. So you see all of these people that Florence Nightingale trained, they all splintered, they all went their way, and they took on her training and made it bigger, and truly made the best use of what they've learned from her. Then we had Linda Richards from 1841 to 1930 in the United States. America's first trained nurse. Wow. She helped establish nursing training programs in the United States and Japan. She then went on to introduce patient record keeping systems. Oh my goodness. We see today, we have moved from the manual record keeping to now electronic record keeping. But Linda Richards had her imprints all over this process from the very beginning of it. And then Mary Eliza Mahoney. So Mary from 1845 to 1926 in the United States again, she was the first African-American professional nurse in the US. So there were other nurses that were not African-American Black. So for this reason, she has been put into the Hall of Fame, we can say, as the first professional nurse in the USA, meaning that she went to a training school, she got a degree, she got really into it, where now nursing not being a profession, she is a professional nurse. She's the co-founder of National Association of Color Graduate Nurses, NACGN, in 1908. She paved the way for racial integration in the nursing profession. What an amazing, amazing legacy. Then we have Susie King Taylor, 1848 to 1912 in the United States. She's an American nurse, and she was an American nurse and educator. She was the first American Army nurse during the American Civil War. She taught soldiers to read and write. Imagine that she's in the middle of war, she's rendering services as a nurse, and she's teaching the soldiers to read and write while caring for the wounded. She wrote her memoir highlighting Black nurses' role during the wartime. So these are some of the books she wrote. She wrote about the Renaissance. It says Renaissance of My Life. And then she wrote a Black woman's civil rights memoir. So if you're ever on Amazon or you are on even just Google, you want to check it out, buy it, read it. That would be amazing. We get to learn more and more about what else she said in those literatures that she wrote. So Adela Nutton, 1858 to 1948 in the United States. She was the first professor of nursing at Columbia University, a key figure in nursing education reform, and documentation of nursing history. Wow, that's amazing, because some of the history we learned today, she played an intricate role as well. Edith Cavell, 1865 to 1915 in England. This British nurse, she was executed during World War I for helping Allied soldiers escape from German occupied Belgium. So yes, we see in the previous slides, nurses were playing double roles, sometimes just being highly taskful. This nurse, however, she was helping Allied soldiers escape from the stronghold of German imprisonment, and she got executed for that. She is remembered for her bravery and humanitarian efforts. Lillian Ward, 1867 to 1940 in the United States. She pioneered public health nursing. And I know today we see public health nursing globally, and it's a practice, is one that we go and get master's degree into it, even PhD. Lillian Ward had, she is that trailblazer that started this movement. She founded the Henry Street Settlement in New York City. She advocated for school nursing, health education, and social reforms. Nurses don't stop. Once we get started revolutionizing certain areas of our society, that's it. That's just it. We keep moving forward, and you can see that trend throughout this documentary. So Agnes Carl, 1868 to 1927 in Germany, founded the German Nurses Association. She was instrumental in creating standards for nursing education and work conditions in Germany. She was influential in the International Council of Nurses that we hear of today. Everyone's going to the conferences. Everyone wants to be a leader there. And by the way, they just elected their first president, and she is an African woman. Woo-hoo. So the ICN, this is Agnes Carroll. Moving forward. Margaret Singer, 18th, I can see we're coming closer to our present time, right? So this is the timeline. We're just taking the train and riding taking a tour through the timeline. So Margaret Singer from 1879 to 1966 in the United States, a nurse and birth control advocate. She's the founder of organizations that became Planned Parenthood. She fought for women's reproductive rights and public health. So we see Planned Parenthood all over the US. I believe there are some in Canada, and I don't know if they are in other countries in Africa or Asia, but I know they are predominantly in the US. So Margaret Singer was that lady, that nurse. Already we come to another comment, questions, insight. Okay, let's go to, we're about to end on 5 more slides here. So Mary Breckenridge, 1881 to 1965 in the United States, founded the Frontier Nursing Service in Kentucky in 1925. She introduced nurse midwifery to the USA, reducing maternal and infant mortality in rural settings. So today we have universities, we have hospitals, we have an entire study that goes into graduate levels. And Mary Breckenridge was that nurse who founded who instituted nurse midwifery in the US. Okay. All right, this is a sweet spot. I feel like I know these last 2 slides that are coming up. Why? Because on my last tour in Liberia, I had the privilege of visiting these schools that were established by these legendary nurses. So Phoebe Esther Bacon in 1964 in Liberia. Esther Bacon, a devoted American nurse and Lutheran missionary, served in Liberia from 1941 until she passed in 1972. And the story goes that she contracted Lassa fever. If you know what Lassa fever is, you've heard of it or taking care of patients with this disease, please put that in the chat. It is a hemorrhagic fever. We hear about Ebola. We hear about other feverish conditions that happens in Africa, diseases like malaria, but Lassa fever is worse, very detrimental to one's mortality. So she contracted Lassa fever, and having Lassa fever is like having COVID or Ebola. You cannot travel beyond borders. So she stayed in Liberia and she died. I actually have pictures and videos when I visited her university, and her gravesite is there. The story goes that her families will visit yearly. They go there to pay tribute to her grandchildren, and all of that. So the Esther Bacon School of Nursing and Midwifery is located in Zozo, Lofa County, Liberia. It is a prominent institution dedicated to training nurses and midwives. Since its establishment in 1964, the school has played a pivotal role in combating maternal mortality in Liberia by graduating thousands of professional nurses and midwives who serve in various healthcare facilities across the country. That is a fact. I can tell you for sure. It just feels close to home when you know you've been there, you've seen these schools. You feel like you have touched those grounds. And then our last nursing legend today for this presentation is Diana K. Assison from 1966 to the year 2000, Liberia. This is a major typo. So even though I have the wrong information here, I'll just let you know that Diana K. Assison School of Midwifery is located in Grand Gila County. And this is a beautiful campus, brightly colored. They're very much welcoming. And actually, when I visited this campus, I realized during this tour in Liberia that my mother actually worked with this nurse in Liberia. Well, my mother was a very young nurse. This was her colleague. So when we visited the campus and my mother started to tell them, describing the lady, and they were like, you must have really worked with her because you're really describing our founder. And this school in this region covers 4 districts that they train nurses and they train midwives. It is strictly a midwifery school. They used to have a component of it for nursing, but it is all midwifery today, and graduating so many midwives yearly and sending them out into those hard to reach areas in villages and towns in Liberia. So that is amazing history, and I'm learning so much as I go through it. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for your time. Welcome to Nurses in Charge. We connect, we celebrate, and we charge, meaning we empower nursing professionals globally. And again, my name is Dr. Nyepu Kemo Hall. I am the founder of Nurses in Charge. And this International Nurses Week is such a blessing to participate in all the programs, events that are covering the entire week, commemorating nurses globally. So stay tuned for tomorrow because I will be back to complete my presentation, and you'll be amazed at some of the presentations that I'm coming out with, some of the names of legends. They are now not all in the US or Europe. They are now in Africa, Asia, and other places. So don't miss it. You will love it. You'll learn a lot about your own countries, and you'll be moved. So thank you so much for the time. Happy Nurses Week. Stay blessed, and thank you. May God bless you for what you do every day as a nurse. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you.
You are welcome. You are welcome.